Hi sober souls, I'm just giving it a minute. I'm sorry I'm a little late. I'm just also grabbing a book I wanted to recommend. Little late. I was busy typing the title into the top of this video and I suddenly realised, oh, there's loads I want to say to this, so that's why I'm a little late. So apologies for that. And it's our final day. I do feel sad because I have so enjoyed teaching this 5-day workshop. And if you have missed the other 4 days, never fear. They are all recorded for you for keeps and you will find them in the guide section of the group. If you don't know where the guide section is, don't worry, just private message me and I'll send you the link. And you can watch those videos, they're not going anywhere. There's also other videos there that I'm sure you'll find really, really helpful. We've covered a lot last week and I'm one of these people I'm so aware that we live in a world full of information and input, and it really is my mission, it's my absolute mission to teach the wellness tree things, guides, in a way that means it's simple, it's easy to implement, it's easy to really understand. But not only that, it's so individual, it's so easily tailored for you. So you can take the wellness tree concept and you can make it your own, because we are all different. Not any two people are the same, and what works for one person may not work for somebody else. So just take what feels good and leave what doesn't. The main takeaway for you is that the wellness tree is really rooted in health and simplicity. And this is because I had a long history of high anxiety and childhood depression and all kinds of horrible things, and when I finally quit drinking, which is just over 7.5 years ago, including my few drinking experiments that I've mentioned, my mission, my absolute thing I felt that felt vital was that I learned to almost kind of reinvent my life in a way that meant it didn't feel overwhelming, and that's been an ongoing journey, and it's what I love to help clients with as well, because we can easily feel overwhelmed with doing stuff constantly. And so with the information I share, I just want you to be able to just find the right moments, hear the right words, take the right actions that feel really good for you. So last week we were talking a lot about creating your Stay Sober plan with the Wellness Tree. Now you're going to be able to have a deeper dive with me if you want to come and join the reset. I did talk about the reset on Thursday, but I'm aware that some people still may not have heard about it. So at the end of today's training, I will talk about the reset. It's a great next baby step for you. It's so doable. It's so easy to sign up to, super low cost, and just the perfect step. If you're feeling a bit like, oh, this just feels not sure what I'm doing, it's a really good way to explore the roots of the wellness tree in a deeper way, and still feel really like you're held, you're nurtured, and you're going to be with a group of other people doing this as well. So I'll talk about the reset after today. And so last week we were doing a lot of work on the doing, the creating the structure, really looking at navigating life, challenging times, and still staying sober, still staying devoted to ourselves, to our own health and wellness. And this can be so difficult sometimes. It can almost feel impossible when we've got the wine witch screaming, kids are screaming, busy day at work, so much going on, and struggling with maybe old traumas coming up, stuff, internal stuff, and we're trying to navigate it through, tend to our relationships, be a good wife, be a great mum, be a great parent, dog, mum, everything is going on, right? And it can feel really hard. But with a plan in place, doesn't need to be perfect, but just knowing where to focus, how to kind of support yourself through this is so crucial, so that you feel anchored, so that you feel taken care of. Now, I want you to really understand that this is a journey, and we're never going to be perfect at this, and everybody is at different stages, different places. And I was talking with a private client this morning, and she has now come to a place, we've been working together for quite a while, but she really has come to a place where she really understands and feels, she internally feels the importance of putting her own health and wellness first and making that the complete devotional, because she understands that, you know, she's taken a lot on, doing lots of stuff, and she had some difficult decisions to make today, some things that she felt she really needed to let go of, and she could see that if she chose to let go of these things that no longer felt aligned, things she'd agreed to that actually she didn't really want to do, this just chops through so much of the stress, so much of the stuff. It's all stuff that's taking from us. And this is the root work. This is what we all need to be looking at. I always think we need to have a really good old clear out of things like what's in our head, what is taking up space, what are our thoughts, what do we believe, what things are holding us back, what things are keeping us stuck, what are we afraid to say yes to that we would actually love to do, but maybe we don't have the confidence, or maybe we don't believe that we're worth it, or that we're not good enough. So we have to be able to clear through a lot of this stuff, get those scissors out, cut those ties, get the broom, sweep all that stuff away, sweep it away, so that we are then left with space. So I really believe in traveling light. And how lightly can we travel? And so imagine that you have a backpack on your back. You're standing at the edge of a woodland and you see before you the path, your journey ahead. Wherever you are on your sober journey, you're curious, you're already doing it, or you've been doing it a while. You see that path ahead and you're like, right, I can see it's a fair distance. This is going to be my life's my life's walk. Okay, I have to travel light. I have to make the journey as comfortable as possible. So comfort is a real theme on this journey. And it is a feeling journey. So while we have got the structures set up, our Stay Sober plan set up, and we're planning, and we're thinking about what we'd love to create, and we're thinking about our healthy habits, that's the very masculine energy. And I don't know if you know about masculine and feminine energy, but we all have both. Doesn't matter if you're male or if you're female, we all have masculine and feminine energy. The masculine is the doing energy. It's supportive, it's holding, it's very action focused. So it's, very goal oriented, it's very disciplined. And the feminine, on the other hand, is it's the being energy. It's receiving, it's very nurturing, it's very soothing, comforting, it's very light, it's very floaty, it's very, it's loving, and the masculine is loving too. And they both work together. Now, in an ideal world, we as humans want to be able to learn to live in a way that our masculine energy and our feminine energy is balanced. But we never actually have an equal balance. Some moments we're going to be more in one than another. There is no right and there is no wrong. But our job is to notice when we're too much in one of them. For example, it could be that you, let's say, have sat at your desk for the last few hours really focusing on a project. You've been banging out emails, you've been doing your thing, you haven't taken a break, you've just been really focused. And suddenly you look at your watch and you're like, oh my God, I haven't had any breakfast, I haven't eaten, I'm starving, I haven't had a coffee. Oh, my eyes feel tired, my neck really aches. It's like we've spent too long in our masculine doing, but maybe we've got loads of stuff done. Maybe we've been really productive, so it feels quite good. But the trick is to just catch the moment before we tip over and we're like, oh my God, give me that glass of wine now. Oh, can't cope with this anymore. And then we have the feminine energy, and this would come into play where we're like, oh, right, it's time now, it's time to take a break. So let me just make that really nice cup of tea. Let me just go and pop round the garden for a little walk, stretch my legs. Let me just sit and read for a minute. Let me just go and take a nice shower. What lotions can I use? Can I connect with a friend? Can I phone someone? It's like this really nice nurturing energy. And our job is to be the watcher. So we are kind of quite neutral and we're just watching ourselves. And this is where we have the dance, the beautiful dance between our doing selves and productive and getting the goals done, putting the reminders in the calendar, ticking the stuff off, we've done this, we've done that, and we balance it with the feminine, fun, flow, pleasure, which is making our habits and our routines feel as gorgeous as possible. Now, some habits, they don't actually feel that good, so we have to make them feel as good as we can. So what things can we bring in? Like, if you're working at your desk and you're doing some focused task, can we light a candle? Can we play some gentle music in the background? And can we have the cat on our lap? I don't know, something just to make it feel really good. Can we like bring that comfort and something in? This is very much about the senses. I haven't made any notes today. I've literally just scribbled down some words because I feel I know exactly what I want to say on this day today, because this is the real yummy stuff I love talking about. So how do we stay in flow? So we decide to get sober, we make that decision, and we make our plan, we set our goal, we know why, we know where we're going, and we know what we want to create, sort of, maybe it's a bit murky, but that's okay. We need to get into our action, so we need to get into our masculine energy, and we need to bring in these routines. So I mentioned the other day about having a morning ritual. Perfect masculine container system to set you up. Then we can bring in that feminine energy. Right, how can we make this feel really good? Because if it doesn't feel good, we're not going to want to do it. This is a being journey. It really is a being journey. And feminine energy cannot exist in the body if the body is traumatized, if it's stressed, if it's overwhelmed, if it's not feeling safe. Because we're in that fight, flight, freeze response, we literally cannot access that. And so we need to get the body on board, and we do that by various somatic tools. Maybe you can try some EFT tapping with Brad Yates is a really good one. There's havening technique. There's lots of things you can Google. We actually have a whole library of resources and things inside of my programs, my paid programs, specifically to support grey area drinkers as they're leaving this current identity and working towards stepping into the new identity. We really need to teach the body that it's safe, because the body learns differently to our brain, which is why people say, I don't get it, I'm doing all the things, you know, why am I such an idiot? I feel like I'm failing every time I try. It's not your fault. If we don't know how to teach our bodies, like, that's not our fault. We're not taught this. And literally dealing with our nervous systems is a journey in itself, because we're all different and we all respond differently to different things. And so it is a journey of discovery, and it's one of finding what works for you, which is exactly what I love to help with. I have a book recommendation for you, which is on the reading list actually inside the reboot, and it's called The Healing Power of Pleasure. Pleasure actually stems from our senses. This is by Julia Paulette Hollenbury. The biggest tool that we have is our breath, and it's the quickest way to calm ourselves down, and it's the access into the body, immediate access. So we always have our breath, and so many of us go around shallow breathing. We're not taking those lovely long deep breaths, and we can use the breath in any moment, and no one needs to know that we're doing it. But it can be so useful to take a pause and to just watch ourselves, to just notice the gap between, you know, the trigger and us responding to it. There is a gap, and in that gap lies our power and our freedom. Literally, our freedom is a decision away. We get to choose in that moment. Is it this or is it this? And the breath is our guide. Now, something that can come up a lot is FOMO, fear of missing out. And I used to have this all the time. So this is where we need to do a lot of the mindset work, which is what we do deeper in my programs. And that is showing up as the new identity. To do that, we need to know, how does she think? How does she feel? How is she? This is, so this is route 3, we do this in the wellness tree, we do the mindset work. But it really is paired with route 5, which is the embodiment, showing up as her. This is also fed by route 2, knowing your vision. It's also fed by route 1, knowing your why. This is why all of the roots of the wellness tree kind of merge together, and there's no real order to knowing them. It's just important to know them all. And if you come and join the reset, you will learn all of the roots, and you'll be able to just have your tree guide and work through them and create your own plan. But when you create your plan, it's really important that it feels good, that it feels fun and pleasurable. I just want to talk about fun because this was a sticking point for me for a long, long time. I used to think, oh, being sober doesn't feel as fun as drinking did. I loved my Merlot. And I love nothing better than to go off to the pub, have a few glasses of red wine, or bring a bottle home and sit there and drink it. Only it felt fun for the first couple of glasses. And then on the third glass, I'd be like, oh, don't feel so good now. Acidy tummy, my head feels a bit, oh, I don't feel kind of in control. And there's this point that maybe you can kind of relate to this. There's this point you go past where it stops feeling fun and you're like, oh, actually I wish I didn't do that. And then you can't seem to stop, and then you have more, and then you're binge eating maybe like I did, and then you're kind of just feeling rubbish about yourself, and it has that real snowball effect. But it did start out as fun for me. So when I stopped drinking, I thought, well, nothing seems to feel as fun as that. Now, what helped me with this was understanding that drinking wine produced a really unnatural and unrealistic high. It was a real high, this buzz of wine. It was like, well, hey, this feels fun, party for one. And I couldn't find anything that felt like that. So I had to find a level of acceptance around this, and I had to redefine fun. So that's that part. And then also I had to think about fun as more of a feeling of comfort, soothing and nurturing, and knowing that when I had given myself those things, that feeling really did outweigh the unnatural high of fun of drinking wine, because it was true. It's like that book, The Power of Fun by Catherine Price, and she talks about true fun and fake fun. And fake fun is like that high buzz of wine or whatever the thing is. True fun is when you're feeling really connected and you're connecting to yourself, to your friends, to the things that you're doing, making conscious, intentional choices, which is really what I'm all about. So that is true fun, and it's a lower level fun. And I remember on my sugar freedom journey, I also stopped using the words treats, although I do use them with some clients sometimes because they kind of like that word. But for me, I stopped using that because I noticed I was going around the supermarket saying, right, it's Friday, I need some treats. Like that, using that word seemed to be stopping me from sitting with discomfort. And I talked about the discomfort the other day. And it's also really helped me to stay more level. So I'm not having these big highs. I'm really, focusing more at living and on this even keel, this maintaining. And when we learn to live this way, which is very balanced, it's very in flow. And to do this, we really need to slow down and we need to be aware. This is a practice. It's taken me ages to get to this point, but it's perfectly possible. But then I can start to notice when I start to drift or I start to lose focus, like if I overeat something that maybe is a bit of a triggery food, or I don't know, like spending money is another thing I can do. And I think, that doesn't feel so good. And so we can really start to just bring in that awareness and that attention. And that requires us to be slow and curious. And then it's so much easier to catch it, to just notice and catch it and like, and then bring ourselves back. Is it this or is it this? What happens if I choose this? Whereas what happens if I choose this? So really, the fear of missing out needs to be reframed to JOMO, joy of missing out. So you can list all of the reasons why you're not missing out and what you're gaining instead, like hangover-free days, more energy, better sleep, deeper connections, better relationships, more money, better skin, better health, like true freedom. And you can write a massive long list. The fun and the pleasure part, there's lots and lots of brilliant recommendations in this book, and it really is a journey of being. It's a journey of using the senses. And then balancing this with your structures, your framework, you being productive, staying consistent, having accountability. And this is exactly how the wellness tree is set up. It's exactly what we work on in the reboot and in my one-to-one programs. But if you're ready just to take the next little toe dip with me, which you will love, then I would love to invite you to join the Reset. Now, the Reset is a really, really low cost 5-day experience. It's literally just £23. Crazy, crazy price. I'm keeping it that until June, when it's going to go up to £55. So let me tell you about the Reset in case you are wanting to join that. So the Reset is, the next one is starting actually on the 26th of February. It's a 5-day Facebook training event. So you will learn the roots of the wellness tree methodology, and that's what I use with my clients. Now, this isn't coaching. I want to be really, really clear. It's not coaching. It's literally just some live trainings that you get to keep forever, for as long as Facebook stays around and keeps the content. It's there for you to keep. It's going to be happening in its own private Facebook group, which is really, really nice. I'll be doing a live training every day for 5 days. There won't be a specific time. It's just a pop-up thing where there's no pressure, there's no time commitment, and it's really aimed for people to just be able to watch it in their own time so that you can slowly take notes, you can absorb it, you can implement it, you can design your own tree, you can get to know it, and it's all keep for life. And so this is a reset. It's a holistic reset for your mind, your body, and your soul. We're going to be talking about how to get out of the drinking cycle, how to take a break from drinking or deepen into your current sober journey, or like really get the confidence that you're wanting to really feel empowered and anchored into all of you. You're going to get really clear on your why, on your vision. We're going to do some mindset magic. We'll toe dip into the archetypes. I'll help you to take action, to implement your plan, and to really learn to embody the new version of you. Really get behind her energy. Who is she or him? Who is that person? What is your potential? What would you love to create? And right now, maybe that's just, I just want to feel better. I just want to stop thinking about drinking. I just want to feel connected and happy and just get rid of this thing, this cloud that's hanging over me. And that's what it was like for me. You also get a 15-minute one-to-one goal setting call with me. And this is really good because it can really bring some clarity to your next steps, to the way forward. And there's an invitation at the end of the experience to also book a one-to-one longer call with me. We'll have like up to an hour. We can work on your Stay Sober plan. I can help you with tools and resources, any tweaks you need to make, And we can also see if joining the Reboot, our group coaching program, would feel like a really great next step for you. So that's the reset, literally only £23. I'll drop a link below the video. You can sign up to that. I'll then send you a couple of links and I'll invite you to join the group, which is going to start, we're going to open on Thursday, but we won't be starting till next week. If that feels good, send me a private message, ask me for the details or the payment link. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And thank you so much for being a part of this Roots of Resilience workshop. I've so enjoyed it. It's been amazing. And I'm going to follow up with you. If there's any questions, just please reach out to me. I'm so happy to answer questions and offer you any help and support you're looking for. Thank you for carving out this time, for being here live, for catching up on the replay. Lots and lots of love. Bye.